Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name is Carly Barnett, and I know we're getting on a little bit later than we usually do today. We're sorry about that, but we just wanted to make sure that we had everything ready to go to give you a little bit of a preview of our news today. And we're doing that because, of course, football season is back. Hope everyone else is a football fan like me, but that also means that it affects our newscast. So we will not be having early newscast tonight. We won't have a broadcast until 10 o'clock on Peachtree TV and 11 o'clock, which could very likely be after 11 over on CBS. So we want to go ahead and make sure that you have a little bit of an idea of the stories that we're covering right now. And you can follow along with us on AtlantaNewsFirst.com until you can join us tonight on TV, or if you are streaming us through the app, through the website, or through your streaming service. So we want to let you know what some of our reporters are working on today. This first story we're going to tell you about, this is one that we have been covering now really for months, since the start of the year, and that is the Public Safety Training Center. Yet another headline continuing to develop with that. You may remember earlier this week, reporter Patrick Quinn gave you the story about faith leaders who had chained themselves to construction equipment in order to protest this Public Safety Training Center. Those protesters were arrested, and they made their first appearance in court today. Now, what you're looking at right here is actually video of people who were protesting the arrest of those faith leaders. So that happened just the other day, and we are told that they chained themselves up to the construction equipment out there, refusing to move in order to make a stand, in order to make a statement. So that was around 9:30 in the morning. Police said that 5 people trespassed, chaining themselves to the construction equipment. The group of protesters included faith leaders, which is at this site often referred to as Cop City. That's what opponents call it. And Atlanta police said they were working with the GBI regarding the charges. We do know that Lalita Martin, Timothy Sullivan, Aola Whitworth, David Dunn, and Jeffrey Jones were all arrested. Their charges including trespassing, obstruction, and reckless conduct. That was for all 5 people, and they made their first appearance in front of a judge today. We, of course, again, this has been an ongoing matter of coverage for us, and this is just the latest incident. We have protesters who were opposing the fact that these people were arrested for trying to oppose the Public Safety Training Center. So we know it's a lot of news, we know it's a lot to keep up with, but we do want to keep you updated on this movement because it is a very divisive issue here in the metro Atlanta community. Now, I do want to share a statement with you from police. This is from the other day. They said, "We are aware protesters are actively requesting others to come to the site to show their support. Additional resources have been moved to the site, and our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners are engaged and assisting us to ensure the First Amendment rights and the safety of the protesters are protected, as well as to ensure the work site remains secure and work continues at the training center." The group said the construction of the training facility and the destruction, as they put it, of the South River Forest has continued despite more than 100,000 Atlanta residents signing a ballot initiative calling for a referendum on this issue. So what we do know is that the 5 people who were most recently arrested went before a judge today. They were Lalita Martin, Timothy Sullivan, Aola Whitworth, David Dunn, and Jeffrey Jones. Their charges including trespassing and obstruction, as well as reckless conduct. And we are told that these 5 people were various faith leaders of various backgrounds and different faiths and beliefs that they all identified with. So we're going to have much more on that later, but this is an update from that story that we brought you earlier this week. All right, let's go ahead and take you back out here live. And this is a story that we brought you last week, and we have a happy update on it, at least a happier update on it. If you shop at the Summer Hill Publix, well, the good news is it is now back open. That is of this morning. Take a look at this video. You may remember we brought this to you last week when the parking structure collapsed when an unauthorized crane truck tried to drive on to the parking area. The way that this is built is that there is a parking lot, but underneath that parking lot is an additional parking deck parking structure that it shares with other buildings in the area. So that is what it fell through, and they are continuing to work on repairs, but the store at least is back open as of 7 this morning. Again, this was an unauthorized crane truck that went onto the parking deck. It caused it to collapse, and Publix had been working to repair the damage on the parking deck. Those repairs are not completely done, but the very good news is you can at least get back to shopping, and that is important, especially it is the weekend and you may be trying to catch up on some of those errands. Now, something that we know is probably the last thing you want to hear, the last thing we want to talk about, but COVID-19 numbers are on the rise again, both in the state of Georgia as well as nationally all across the country. And so we wanted to find out more about what this means for you at home. So we spoke to the senior vice chair of the Department of Epidemiology at Emory, and she gave us a little bit more insight on that. She says the variant that is of most concern right now is called EG5. She says it's been spreading rapidly all over the world. This is according to Dr. Jody Guest. And she said that, of course, it is contagious. We do need to be vigilant. And as far as boosters go, she said to kind of stop thinking of it as a booster, so to speak. You have Moderna, Pfizer, and Novavax all working on new shots. And she says the best way to think of it now is almost like a yearly shot, sort of like you would get with the flu. So I want to turn now to a little bit more of what she had to say about that.
Waiting for the CDC and the FDA to approve the newest COVID-19 vaccine. And this will be the first time where we really see that we want to have a fall vaccine, and it's not going to be a booster anymore. It's going to be a yearly vaccine that we are going to hope everyone will take.
So she was saying that the information from the FDA could come out in about 2 weeks. That's what they're hoping. She said a month perhaps at the latest. So of course they're still waiting on that authorization. But in the meantime, it is also the start of flu season. So she did say that when you get your flu vaccine, you can also get this COVID vaccine once it ultimately gets approved at the same time. That is totally safe to do simultaneously. Save yourself a trip. And she said as far as distinguishing the difference between COVID and flu, because they're going to have a lot of very similar side effects, she says the best way to know is to just go ahead and take that COVID test. You could take the at-home test, or you can go to your local doctor to get a test there as well, and that will give you your answer. And either way, if you're not feeling well, you're going to want to stay home regardless. But you know, this spike is largely attributed to the fact that people have been traveling this summer, the fact that children are now back in school, and now we have these new variants to contend with. She did say that in the state of Georgia, about over the last month or so, data from the CDC shows that hospitalizations here in our state have increased by about 56%. She said she couldn't really narrow that down further to the metro Atlanta area, but from a state perspective, in a matter of weeks, new COVID hospitalizations jumped about 56%. Nationally, in the last week, according to the CDC, hospitalizations increased by 16%. So, again, we know that this is probably not something you want to hear about, but it is important to just keep you all aware, keep you vigilant, keep everybody safe and healthy, and we want to continue to give you the latest on this. As far as this new shot goes, they are still waiting for approval from the FDA, so there will still be a little bit of time before that ultimately becomes available. So just something to keep in your back pocket if you are wondering about it. That is the latest that we know so far. And I want to take you back to the shot that we started you with earlier. We're taking a look outside, rainy earlier, kind of cloudy. You know, of course, it happens just in time for our weekend. But, you know, maybe this is a good opportunity just to have a chill weekend. It makes me kind of want to just kick my feet up, stay inside.
Yeah, something for everybody.
Out.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. And even if you are, if you do have outdoor plans, going to the Braves game, one of the football games, trekking across the parking lots, getting into the stadium, there will also be some dry weather to be had. Case in point, live outside right now, we are looking across the connector from the Atlantic and Atlantic Station back towards Midtown Atlanta. And yes, there are still some clouds, but also now some sunshine making its way through. And we're dry here after what was kind of a stormy hour and a half here across portions of Midtown. We are now seeing better weather back in the first alert forecast. And while we may see additional showers and thunderstorms pop up, I do think that there's going to be enough dry time to get some of those outdoor plans in. And I don't think that you need to outright cancel everything, but just keep a closer than normal eye on the forecast as we go into the early evening hours, because we're not quite done with the rain just yet. And even though it is a little bit hit or miss, and it's not a sure bet that your plans are going to be canceled or anything like that, still some showers and thunderstorms to track and to keep an eye on. Hence the reason for the first alert today. We're still tracking those scattered downpours. And we'll let you know where it's raining right now. And a reminder, we're streaming across many platforms this evening. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, the place to ask would be YouTube, Atlanta News First on YouTube right now. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, feel free to navigate over there, and I'll be monitoring the feed just off to my left and answering any questions that may be coming in. Back to radar, first alert radar right now. We're tracking some rain on the southeast side of town, south DeKalb, North Clayton, northern Henry County, and Rockdale County. Kind of the symptom, so to speak, of today's storms has been very slow movement. So if you happen to be underneath one of these, you could certainly pick up a quick inch and a half of rain. It'll pour. There will be at least occasional lightning and thunder, if not frequent lightning. Case in point, zooming down in for a brief time earlier around Rockdale County, Conyers, between Lakeview Estates and the city of Conyers, there was a lot of lightning. Less lightning now as that storm weakens just a bit. Nonetheless, it is still pouring along the north of the I-20 corridor through Rockdale County. Now into southern DeKalb County near Panola, another downpour here between Snapfinger and Panola. It'll be moving across Georgia 212 within the next 30 minutes, back up towards I-20, areas that have already seen some rain. Clayton County, Forest Park, over to Stockbridge, getting into Henry County, the Rex community, Morrow. There is a downpour, but rain rates have come down a bit, maybe more moderate rain versus heavy rain compared to about 30 minutes ago. Inside the perimeter, we're pretty quiet right now. Earlier downpours have shifted off to the east and to the southeast, and then the north side. Still seeing some showers and a couple of thunderstorms popping up. Right now in Forsyth County, far northern Fulton County, heading into portions of Cherokee County, east and southeast of Canton, a few showers roaming the area. Getting up towards Ellijay, Gilmer County, Fannin County, Mineral Bluff, Higdon, and the Ivy Log community, McKaysville, Blue Ridge. Steady light rain. Blairsville, earlier rain has diminished just a bit. And, of course, if you're spending the weekend up in Hiawassee, or perhaps up into Rabun County, Lakes Burton, Lake Rabun, right now just spotty showers, probably more clouds than sun at times, but rain is pretty hit or miss here. There is some dry time to get outside and to still enjoy your weekend. Just keep those rain and lightning alerts turned on in the First Alert weather app. Southside right now, we are pretty quiet. A couple of showers here developing over Putnam County. Just to the north, really over now, Lake Sinclair, south and east of Hallwood. No lightning detected with that, but of course, if you do hear thunder, please do move indoors. Hour-by-hour forecast. More of the same. Scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up here over the next maybe 2, 3, 4 hours. And as we get into late evening, we're going to drop that rain chance just a little bit. 30% chance of rain 8 p.m., 20% chance at 10 p.m., just a 20% chance of an isolated shower by midnight in Atlanta, and then a mostly dry stretch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Can't rule out an additional shower or two, but I think mostly dry through the wee hours of our Sunday morning. And we do have the possibility of some low clouds and fog developing there by 4, 5, 6 o'clock Sunday morning. Not a bad morning, but late summer, early fall, you tend to get those mornings, especially after an evening where there is some rain around, like today, where fog tends to develop and can become locally dense. So keep that in mind. If you have early plans tomorrow, you may wake up to some gloomy conditions, but then conditions should improve pretty quickly as temperatures warm up. We'll notice that clouds do break up a little bit. And as we get into tomorrow, I still think there could be a couple of showers popping up through the morning hours, but more so afternoon, after the lunchtime frame, and they'll persist on into the middle to latter portion of the afternoon. Again, we'll run you hour by hour. Let's start early tomorrow morning. 4 a.m., there are some clouds. Yes, there are a couple of showers, but dry in the city of Atlanta, I think. But if you do have early plans tomorrow, if you're getting up early, trying to get a long run in, a long walk in, coffee on the back patio, maybe if you have church plans tomorrow or yard work to do before noon tomorrow, There will be a few showers around, I think, tomorrow morning. Primary chance is east and northeast of the city of Atlanta, from Hall County down to Clark County, Oconee County, maybe Greene County, Oglethorpe County, back up to Habersham County, getting up towards Rabun County up in northeast Georgia. Hit or miss, but not completely dry for our start Sunday. And then we lose the clouds. We'll start to warm back up. And as we warm up, of course, the same thing that happened today. Isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms bubbling up, though I think fewer storms tomorrow compared to what we have had today. So I think easier to get the outdoor plans in. No first alert tomorrow. Still, though, keep a casual eye on the First Alert weather app. If you're out and about, you can see that there will be some showers and thunderstorms popping up tomorrow. I think a little bit less than what we had in the area today. Not quite as organized as some of the showers and storms as what we had today. And they should be moving just a little bit faster. So hopefully not raining out any plans tomorrow. Still, though, keep a casual eye on that forecast. Not a completely dry Sunday, but as far as the impact this weekend, I still think that today is the wetter of the 2 weekend days. Scattered showers and thunderstorms today, more isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms on our Sunday back half of the weekend. So little bit less of a chance that rain, that thunder, that lightning will impact your plans. Nonetheless, a not completely dry Sunday. And then as we get deeper into the work week next week, we do trend a little drier. We do trend a little warmer as we head into the work week, Monday into Tuesday. Not going to completely take that rain chance out of the forecast, but certainly trending just a little bit drier. In fact, here is the next several days laid out for you, rain chance wise. And you'll notice that tomorrow's rain chance just a skosh lower than today, 30%. We'll keep a very isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday. Just a bit of a boost Wednesday. That's because our next change of air mass is approaching North Georgia, and it could help to fire off a couple additional showers and thunderstorms on our Wednesday. And then we're trending drier as we get into next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Not just drier weather, but also drier feeling. In fact, it'll be quite nice across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta as we get into late next work weekend into the start of next weekend. So just wanted to check in. Time now 5:19. Another ANF Plus live stream coming your way here at 8 p.m. No early news this evening, preempted by sports on CBS WANF. We will have our 10 o'clock hour, Atlanta News First, on Peachtree TV, Atlanta's CW affiliate, and then Atlanta News First back on WANF this evening. Fingers crossed we will start on time 11 p.m., but we may go on just a bit late, so make sure you catch that live stream. Starting at 8 p.m., we'll let you know you can stream it in the Atlanta News First app, First Alert weather app, and at atlantanewsfirst.com. Have a wonderful evening, but also keep an eye on the forecast. Few showers and thunderstorms possible through sunset.